Greetings, thespians. It's Tuesday. Although actually it's Monday, but it will be Tuesday in the fullness of time when you're seeing this. Temporal placement is confusing.
God, I dreamed there was an angel who could hear me through the...
As it stands, I'm about to head off to Stratford, and I don't quite know how the rest of the day is going to pan out. Whether this will just be one video or turn into a big long series like Edinburgh. I tend to think the former, but I'll check in with you later, when something actually happens. Hi there, it's Sam from Tuesday here. Now, as previous Sam will tell you in a moment, I wasn't able to shoot an awful lot there. But I think just to give you a breakdown of the sort of thing that I was doing that day, the first thing we did was we had some voice work with a guy who's going to be taking over as the RSC's voice coach very soon, or already has done. And the thing that struck me first about this guy was he could only have been about 28, which is phenomenal considering the position he's going into. But he was brilliant. We did some pretty standard warm-up things, but then we were just working in this huge space. You'll see pictures of it in a moment. But it was a place that easily would have seated 400 and in different rakes, and it was fantastic being able to work in a space like that where you didn't even really have to raise your voice to know that you'd be heard all the way up at the back. And it was about developing that sense of being able to play to a very large space that was set out as a thrust, so you had audience on three sides at all times. Then we had a text session, and that focused mainly on sonnets, but even with this, we were given just this sonnet that was written out without, I'm not sure if you can see this, but there is no punctuation in this sonnet. And the first thing was we were working on getting the iambic pentameter right, because that enables us to discern the meaning of the words without even having to have any of the punctuation. And so we were going, when my love swears that she is made of truth, I do believe her though I know she lies, that she may think me some untutored youth. Now, of course, we wouldn't actually do that, but it allows us to say, when my love swears she is made of truth, I do believe it, though I know she lies, that she might think me some untutored youth, etc., etc. It just gives a little hint as to the words and where they need to be stressed. The next thing we did, which was one of the highlights for me, was we did a rhetoric workshop. Now, the guy who took this wasn't actually connected with the RSC directly. He was just a university professor who lectured on law. But we were breaking down the rhetorical nature of Mark Antony's speech from Julius Caesar to see what rhetorical mechanics it uses. Essentially, the speech works by subverting the expectations of the crowd of people there, and by turning on its head what Brutus has just said right beforehand in the same scene. Then in the evening we saw the RSC's current production of Hamlet, and it's just after I've seen this that past Sam takes up the tale. Okay, thespians, I haven't been able to shoot an awful lot today as we weren't allowed cameras in the places that we went to, or at least most of them. But I will put through some pictures here, and here, and here. I thought you'd want to see that. That is where I've just finished seeing Hamlet, and it was bloody awesome, actually. Jonathan Slinger in the title role. I'd seen him do Richard III before, and that was amazing. But yeah, just I don't think they even cut it all that much. It was over 3 hours, the production, and yeah, just I'll talk to you when I can do words more. in a minute. The next day we started off with a movement workshop, and that was with this rather colourfully dressed Scottish guy. He was brilliant at just giving us quick and easy methods of finding a physical neutral position from which to engage with whatever else we were doing there. And in an hour he got everyone to be aware of the habits that they have physically and overcome them. Next we had another text workshop, but this was more focused on like the first reading of plays and putting the text into action straight away. And this resonated particularly well for me because the guy running it, who's head of text at the RSC, is a dyslexic, so he came at it very much from that point of view. And I couldn't help but thinking, like, we got the opening prologue to one of these plays, and I thought if we'd have drilled that for the whole day, by the end of it we'd have all been completely off book with it, which is kind of mind-blowing, but it works. Then in the afternoon we had a voice workshop with a teacher that we've had at Signet before many times, called Jackie Crago, and I found it interesting that there were at least 6 or 7 drama schools represented in the group of us that there were, and she seemed to know whoever taught voice at each of these drama schools, probably because she taught them. Like I might have mentioned before about her, she's intense, but she's got this like great inspiring passion for what she's doing, which is just brilliant to work with. I mean, she's rather unorthodox in a lot of ways, but having this experience has redoubled my excitement for actually working with her as a director later this year. Then after that we had a plenary session with a current actor member of the RSC and the RSC's casting director, who basically just gave us a rundown of what life is like inside the company and what a casting director is potentially looking for when they're casting a new season at the RSC. And that was all very good and interesting stuff, and I'm definitely going to take a lot of that away with me. It was really great to meet a load of other people from drama schools all across the country who were in a similar situation to us, and it was reassuring to find out that we are, for the most part, like on a level with everyone else, and to be able to have a glimpse into how other companies work. And overall, I think this was a really great experience for someone in my position who has got to the end of a term, is feeling just a little bit burned out with it all, but to have such a big gear change and to see what people who are at the pinnacle of their game are doing in a completely different space, doing something completely different, it's just been really galvanizing and inspiring, actually. And, you know, it's one of those cliches, like, it reminds you why you do this. Well, that's about it from me for this week, but I will just leave you with this final bit of footage. And Mary, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, thespians, this is a good example of the space I'm working in. Now, you can probably tell that I'm quite close to the wall here, but my voice isn't echoing that much, which in a room of this size is quite impressive. Nothing. I have to have my voice travelling all the way to you. What I wouldn't give to work in a space like this on a regular basis. Anyway, I've just snuck in here on lunchtime, so better get back before someone catches me.